You're watching ABC 7 News at noon.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks for joining us. Our top story, Cardinal Mooney High School remains closed this afternoon after a student allegedly threatened to shoot up the school on social media. Now, this was an unexpected start to the week as parents were notified late last night that the school would be closed due to that threat. Sarasota police investigating this alleged Snapchat post that was shared over the weekend. The post claims that a student threatened to shoot up the school, specifically kids in that student's grade and upperclassmen. A representative with the Sarasota Police tells us that the police have no reason to believe there is a threat to Cardinal Mooney at this time. We talked to the school's swim coach who stopped by to use the weight room this morning but could not get on campus due to the school being closed.
It's just unfortunate. Cardinal Mooney has always been a very open, loving environment. You know, it's a Christian school, and it's unfortunate that it has to be secured in the way that it is now. So the school is actually working on moving the office closer to the entrance. I think that they felt that that is also a more secure situation as opposed to being able to walk openly on the campus to have to go to the office.
This is the most recent threat among many others within the past few weeks here on the Suncoast. We reached out to the Diocese of Venice for a statement. They do say that school safety is their top priority and that Cardinal Mooney will resume classes tomorrow with a regular schedule. As for the student involved with the threat, no word yet on repercussions that student will face. We'll have more on the story coming up in our evening newscasts. Since the mass shooting in Parkland, the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office says it has been inundated with calls. The Sheriff's Office wants to reassure the public that when it comes to protecting the community, it always puts children first. The Sheriff's Office posting a message on social media stating that when they receive information, they act on it. Since the incident in Parkland, they have not received any information that has risen to the level of a threat. And if any child, school, or campus was in danger, residents would be the first to know. Looking ahead this week, the Venice City Council will discuss adding another school resource officer. They're planning to place a full-time resource officer at Venice High and Venice Elementary with a floater that would cover both. Tomorrow, Mayor John Hollick is expected to ask the council to fund the position immediately and talk to the county and state to see if any reimbursement or cost sharing is possible. The city currently provides 2 Venice police officers for the high school under an annual agreement with the school district. President Trump is vowing to take on gun control in the wake of the Florida mass shooting. There's also increased scrutiny on the response to that massacre that left 17 students and educators dead. ABC's Kenneth Moten has the latest now from Washington.
On the top of President Trump's agenda, school safety.
We'll be talking about Parkland and the horrible event that took place last week.
The president hosting the nation's governors, many against his plan to train and arm teachers after the Florida school massacre in Parkland. The president on Fox News also pushed for increasing the age minimum to buy rifles from 18 to 21.
To get a gun like this maniac used in the school, you get that at 18. I mean, that doesn't make sense, and frankly, I explained that to the NRA.
But the NRA is not on board.
These are just things that he's discussing right now. So far, nothing's been proposed yet.
At least 16 companies have cut ties with the NRA, which says the focus should be on the missed opportunities to stop suspected Parkland shooter Nicholas Cruz. 74 Republican Florida lawmakers sent a letter urging Governor Rick Scott to suspend Broward County Sheriff Scott Israel, accusing the Democrat and his department of missing repeated warning signs.
It was a shameful, politically motivated letter that had no facts. Of course, I won't resign.
This is one of the young Parkland survivors shot multiple times, speaks out.
And I'd just like to say that I'm so grateful to be here.
At the Florida governor's request, the state has launched an investigation into the shooting response. As for gun control, Congress is back, but there are no plans to vote on any legislation. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Washington.
The number of companies cutting business ties with the National Rifle Association continues to climb. Delta and United Airlines will no longer offer flight discounts to NRA members. Several rental car companies, including Enterprise, Hertz, and Avis, say they are ending discount programs with the NRA as well. And insurance giant MetLife will no longer offer home and auto policy discounts for NRA members. In a statement, the NRA accuses those companies of trying to punish its members as a result of what happened in Florida. Hockey is bringing the Parkland community closer together. Just 11 days after Stoneman Douglas High School was ravaged by the shooter, the school's hockey team played for the state championship and won. Players say the emotions from that day turned into passion for their sport. Hockey became their escape, and after winning the state title against Tampa Jesuit, they hope it can be a glimmer of light for others.
Last week and a half has been rough. Hockey's just kind of takes away all the pain and all the thoughts. Just kind of get away and just play. We came here to win. That's what we did.
I was just glad to be alive, and I live for them now.
The Eagles scored 7 goals in that victory, and goalie Nathan Shields had a remarkable 46 saves. Here on the Suncoast, the Sarasota County Health Department is looking into why several people have recently been hospitalized with Legionnaire's disease. Those cases have been reported in the Island Walk community. That's in the West Villages district in Northport. The Department of Health has closed the Island Walk spa and swimming pool and is investigating other possible sources of transmission. Legionnaire's disease is a type of pneumonia. It's contracted by inhaling microscopic water droplets containing the bacteria. Outbreaks have been linked to a range of sources, including hot tubs, mist machines, swimming pools, and cooling towers and air conditioning systems. Legionnaire's disease usually develops 2 to 10 days after exposure. Symptoms to look out for include headache, muscle pain, chills, and fever. We're going to have much more on this story coming up in our evening newscast. Well, the anchor of PBS NewsHour and frequent moderator of presidential debates speaking this morning in Sarasota. ABC 7's Ray Collins caught up with Judy Woodruff and joins us now with more. Ray?
Scott, Woodruff says it's easy to find topics these days. She's been covering news since the 1970s. The Junior League of Sarasota brought her to speak at their annual Legacy Luncheon at Michael's on East. The Oklahoma native is speaking at this hour about a variety of topics, including gun control and the Me Too movement. I asked her if it's difficult to keep her personal opinions out of her speeches.
Not really at all. I've been doing this for a long time. I started out as a reporter in the 1970s, and I was told in the very, very beginning, nobody really cares what you think, Judy Woodruff. And so that's what I do. I'm a reporter. Even as an anchor for the PBS NewsHour now, I still view myself as a reporter. I am here to my philosophy is you give the public the information and let them make up their own minds.
Go. Woodruff arrived late last night and is leaving this afternoon to be back on the air tomorrow in Washington. Congress is back in session today, and she says she expects a lot of discussion this week about gun control legislation. Scott?
No doubt. All right. Thank you so much, Ray. Let's get a check now on our Monday weather with meteorologist John Scalzi. Beautiful start to the day. Yeah. I mean, it was really pretty this morning.
Doesn't get much better.
Yeah.
It really does not get much better. This week I'm kind of excited about because it's going to have a little something for everybody. Those folks who like it a little warmer, they're in good shape. Those people who want it a little bit cooler too, that's coming our way as well. So a little something for everyone, right? Smorgasbord of weather, if you will. Sarasota Bay webcam put into motion shows those beautiful blue skies that Scott was just alluding to. We have plenty of nice weather in store for you this afternoon. Is it possible that we could get an isolated inland shower? Yeah, it's not out of the question. There were some around yesterday, and we could see some again develop today. To the north of us, you'll notice that line of showers stretching into the Gulf waters. That's part of a front. It's really not going to make it to us. It's going to basically stall out, and you can see a little bit of the cloud cover may make it to us, actually, over the course of the next few hours, but it shouldn't be a really thick cloud cover, maybe a few high clouds. That's about it. Certainly enough sunshine will poke through to warm us up to about 83 degrees today for a daytime high temperature. As winds come on shore, we won't warm a whole lot more than we are right now, but it'll certainly be a comfortable afternoon. And then overnight tonight, temperatures fall back into the 60s. We've got some big changes coming up in the weather, though, in the next few days, which we'll talk about in a second, Scott.
Okay, John, thank you. ABC 7 business commentator Richard Stern joins us now with a check of the day on Wall Street, and it's a strong start, a very strong start today.
Might be a little bit early for happy days are here again, but I have to tell you, it's all across the board today, just buying, buying, and more buying. Well, when we have buying, buying, and more buying, guess what? Everything goes up, and that's the case today. The Dow Jones Industrial Average up triple digits from the get-go, up 248 points at the high of the day. Every index we follow is solidly in plus territory. Let's take a look at the numbers as they stand. The Dow Jones Industrial Average up 238 points, more than 0.9%, closing at midday, 25,548.41. That on volume of 489 million shares. The NASDAQ very strong, up 0.7%, more than 50 points at 7,387.43. That on volume of 802 million shares. The S&P right along with them. S&P up more than 0.6%, more than 18 points at 2,765.46. Well, we've got 2.5 trading days left in the month of February, and let's remember, January was phenomenal. In February, we had that famous correction, thank you, down 10% in 9 trading days. So let's take a look and see where we stand now year to date. A good month and a tough month. Year to date, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is up by 2.4%. The NASDAQ is up by 6.3%. The Standard & Poor's 500 index up by 2.8%. Now, let's get a little bit more specific in terms of some stocks. The best performing stock year to date in the Dow Jones Industrial Average is Boeing, up almost 21%, 20.9%. The worst performer, unfortunately, is General Electric. That is down by more than 17% year to date, and that stock is down again today as they announce new boards of directors and, frankly, some accounting issues that still have to be accounted for. So, Scott, we'll have to see where things go from here, but certainly we've had a terrific morning and no reason why it should stop that I can see.
Okay, we'll see you again at 5 o'clock.
I'll be here.
All right, Richard, thanks so much for the update.
You're welcome.
Still to come in your Suncoast News, we're going to have some tips on how you can negotiate the terms of your next rental agreement. And a California man picked up for an unusual case of DUI. We'll explain when we come back.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Good kisses. Good kisses. You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. Yeah. It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
If you've never truly loved your car, you've clearly never owned a Subaru. Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's 2017 most trusted brand, best overall brand, and lowest 5-year cost to own. And Subaru Impreza is an IIHS top safety pick for 11 years running. Lease the all-new 2018 Subaru Impreza for just $195 a month for 42 months with zero due at signing. That's right, not one penny. Get more for your money during the Subaru True Love event at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny had been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
The ABC7 Stock Report is sponsored by Sunset Cadillac.
Now your ABC7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Yeah, another day here on the Suncoast with daytime high temperatures above 80 almost everywhere you look here. We're looking at 81 degrees in Parrish, 80 in Bradenton, 80 Lakewood Ranch, Sarasota the same, 81 degrees in Myakka, 79 degrees as you get down into Northport, 77 in Venice, 76 in Inglewood, and 73 degrees at Longboat Key. I think we're pretty much got it in the bag here in terms of this being the warmest February on record ever. By a long shot. We've broken the record significantly. I don't see any way to lose that, even though we have some time to go before the end of the month. It'd be hard to imagine this not seeing the record broken. 80 degrees, the current air temperature. Probably add another couple of degrees onto that, but our winds are shifting a little bit more southwest now, so the winds coming in off Gulf waters will mitigate a little bit how much warmer we'll get. I add on another 3 degrees, I think is reasonable for a daytime high. Dew point value climbing at 69. We'll probably see it get a little bit higher, maybe into the low 70s, and then we'll start to see maybe a shower or two in inland areas as that sea breeze kind of penetrates a little bit further inland. It won't be a big rain event, but a slight chance in inland areas. I don't think we'll see much at all along the coastline. We'll go with 83 as the daytime high by about 3 o'clock this afternoon. A few clouds building, and as I said, maybe an isolated shower in inland areas, Hardy, DeSoto County, so, you know, Wauchula, Arcadia, Ona, those places. 73 degrees as we head into the evening. Should be a beautiful evening, lovely sunset, and then overnight tonight temperatures will fall into the 60s. There's our frontal boundary. It's in the process of stalling. You can kind of see that by the strong north to south inclination here of the frontal boundary. Then you get to the tail end of the front, and it's pretty much east to west right here. That's a good indication that it's losing steam and about to stall out before ever making it to us. So this one will not have any cooler air with it. Not much in the way of a rainfall chance for us currently, but as I mentioned, we're likely to see a few pop up here a little bit later in the afternoon. Temperatures generally everywhere hitting the 70 mark, then or 80 mark, then falling down into the 70s by this evening. A few scattered showers, mainly inland, and then maybe a little fog as we develop into tomorrow morning. The moisture is a little bit higher. We'll have an onshore wind flow. And that may be a problem tomorrow morning. We'll watch for that. Maybe a scattered shower around tomorrow as well. And the reason for that is the frontal boundary itself will be sinking south and stalling out. Yes, that's true. But then as high pressure builds in behind it, we'll watch that front kind of be pushed southward. It's kind of a backdoor cold front. And that one, while not bringing us any colder air, could destabilize the atmosphere sufficiently to bring a few scattered showers around. Won't be a big deal. Forecast looking like this. We'll have a daytime high today of about 83 degrees. Tomorrow the same with that chance of rainfall and that kind of backdoor cold front that won't do much in terms of lowering our temperature. But then another front comes our way on Thursday with a good chance of rainfall, another chance of rainfall I should say, and that one could significantly lower our temperatures. In fact, all computer models agree on this one. We are going to have a major shift to temperatures that are just about average for this time of year, something we haven't seen all month long. So we'll be looking at temperatures in the mid-70s with nighttime low in the 50s, low relative humidity, and copious amounts of sunshine this weekend. Perfect weather. Back to you.
That will sure feel nice. All right, John, thanks. In consumer news, one promise of ride-hailing companies like Uber and Lyft was a drop in the number of cars clogging city streets. But it looks like that may not be the case. Recent studies in cities from Boston to New York to San Francisco suggest just the opposite, that the companies are pulling riders off buses, subways, and bicycles and putting them into cars instead. The companies have pushed back against the report, saying ride-hailing is making it possible to reduce the number of personally owned cars on roadways. Well, we often negotiate the price of a new car, a new house, even our salary at work. So why don't more people negotiate their monthly rent? ABC 7's Stephanie Webb joins us now with more on that. Stephanie?
Thanks, Scott. It's typically your biggest monthly expense, and we often just pay whatever the asking price is. So when it comes to rent, why is it that we don't usually think we can negotiate that? Because we should.
Well, you always think about negotiating when you're going to buy a house, right? And it's this long-term purchase. But when you're thinking about renting, you see a price and you think it's set in stone. But the reality is that there's a price that's listed, but then there's the desire of a landlord to have all of those units filled. So really, you have the upper hand sometimes when you're looking for a place that you can rent.
That you do. And tonight at 6 o'clock here on ABC 7, we're going to show you a few surprising ways that you can negotiate a lower price on your rent. Scott?
All right, much needed around here for sure. Stephanie, thank you. Time now to head over to the kitchen and say hello on this Monday to ABC7 Culinary Director Judy Gallagher. Hi, Judy.
Hi there, Scott. Well, another great trip down to the farmers market this Saturday. First stop, Warden Farms, where there is such an abundance. So I really want to ask people to go out of your comfort box and pick some things that you may not necessarily know how to use or haven't before and ask them. Today, I've picked up some romesco over the weekend, French radishes, which are perfect in a salad or lightly sauteed. And we have a lot of organic carrots. We're going to make a carrot puree. And then we went over to Maggie's Seafood and have delicious fresh red snapper. So stay with me. We'll baste the plate with the carrot puree and a delicious fresh red snapper from Maggie's I think you're really going to love. I'll be back in just a few minutes.
So Matt told me to meet him at 7 a.m. sharp right here. It is now 7:01 a.m. You think Matt would leave without me? Hey, is Matt here?
Long gone.
Long gone.
Just missed him.
Just missed him.
All done.
Mr. Sparky guarantees they're on time and the repair is free, so chop chop.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Matt, you started without me.
I finished without you, too.
Thousands of award-winning Honda Civics are on sale for $169 a month during the Honda President's Day sales event. You made Civic the best-selling compact car in America. Drive one today for just $169 a month, or save thousands on your Civic with 0.9% financing. Civic, a KBB.com Best Buy for less than the competition. Only $169 a month or 0.9% this week at your local Honda dealer.
Honda, I like it. Oh yeah, I like it.
Being the caregiver for someone you love is truly a blessing. But sometimes you can lose a part of yourself. To be your best, for them and for you, it's important to have time to be able to recharge your batteries. When you call Tidewell Hospice, they can give you a chance to do just that. And with the peace of mind of knowing your loved one is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Tomorrow at 5 on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Webb.
And I'm Ray Collins. The Antique Roadshow will tape several shows in Sarasota.
We'll tell you what you can still do to apply before it's too late tomorrow on Good Morning Suncoast. John?
So we still have some cold air back to the west. That's a signal of some cooler air that'll be arriving on the Suncoast by the end of the work week. We'll let you know just how cold it's going to be and whether or not we'll see any showers this week.
Tomorrow at 5 on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you. ABC7 News at 7, weeknights.
Caught on camera, a man in California arrested for an RUI, riding under the influence. Long Beach police say an intoxicated man galloped onto the freeway on his birthday. They stopped him and gave him a field sobriety test, which he failed with more than double the legal limit. The man was arrested and booked for riding a horse under the influence. The Long Beach police tweeted this reminder saying, "No, you may not ride your horse on the freeway, and certainly not while intoxicated." Some incredible video now out of Houston where firefighters rescued a family from an intense house fire. 3 children and a woman were rescued from their apartment's second-floor window. In the video, you can see the family being brought down a ladder from a back balcony while the flames raged behind them. 16 units were destroyed by the fire. Thankfully, no one was hurt. The cause of that fire is still unknown right now. Some beautiful images coming out of Italy as the country is facing its coldest February on record and its first snowfall in more than 25 years. This was the scene at the Colosseum in Rome as people navigated the ice-covered streets. The drastic change in weather has seen temperatures there continue to plummet over the last week. Classes were canceled at schools across Rome today as the snow continues to fall. What a scene. All right, back to the kitchen now. Check in again with Culinary Director Judy Gallagher, who's fixing some fish for us today. Judy?
That's right. We'll keep it light and healthy. Beautiful carrot puree. So let's start with that, and then we'll talk about the fish. So I've taken some organic carrots that I picked up at Warden Farms at the farmer's market, and I have saved the carrot tops. That's going to make a beautiful dressing. Now we're going to toss the carrots in some olive oil and salt and pepper, and I like to use the basil salt over at Sarasota Spice and Tea Company. So let's give that a little toss there. Okay, so that's going to go in a pan. We've got the oven at about 385. You can go anywhere from 385 to 400. What you're looking for is to get it tender and caramelization. You know, carrots are one of those vegetables that have the natural sugars, so we want to bring that up for that really good flavor. Now let's see what happens when they come out of the oven. It depends on the size. The key is you want to use even cut carrots. So I also picked up some yellow and purple carrots, or you might pick up purple cauliflower and blanch that and then roast it as well. So we're going to put this on our food processor, and since the carrots have already been seasoned, I don't want to re-season it yet because I don't want to over salt it till it's all pureed. So we'll just let it go in the puree. And like I said, this is not just carrots. I have a little bit of flavor in there. And I have some purple cauliflower that was blanched. So we'll give it about a cup, half a cup to a cup, depending on the size. I'm making a double batch because we love carrot puree so much. Now what we're going to do before our next segment is whenever using fish with skin, you want to score it, especially something like snapper. What will happen, it will curl up. So you do these little slits, and that will keep that from curling up. So we're going to take that basil salt, throw it on both sides, and put it in the pan to start to saute. When we come back, let's make a radish salad and get ready to serve.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC 7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think It Up.
We answered the call of duty and left our homes to serve in far-off lands. Now, we answer another call, this time at home, in our own communities, to respond in times of chaos. To use our strength, our skills, and our experiences to bring hope amid devastation and destruction. Together, as a team of brothers and sisters, we're continuing our mission to make this country a little stronger and a little better each day. We are Team Rubicon.
Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC7 Digital Media Services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC7 Digital Media Services to give you the right tools to grow your business.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place to forge their future. Because while many doors open, these doors transform. They did for us. Support your local Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
Here's today's job of the day. ABC7 is seeking a digital content manager to join our newsroom leadership team. CMS experience required. Visit mysuncoast.com/job-of-the-day to apply.
Coming up, how the Trump administration is reacting after the partial release of the Democrats' classified memo in response to the GOP's own memo released last month. Plus, why a new study suggests nearly 9 million Americans could lose health care by 2019. And a storm rips through parts of the central United States, why conditions could get worse.
You're watching ABC7 News at 12:30.
Welcome back. Our top story this half hour, the ongoing debate over the newly declassified Democratic memo on the Russia probe that counters the GOP document released weeks ago. ABC's Maggie Rulli has more as the president is now weighing in.
The battle of memo versus memo has descended into schoolyard taunts.
He's a bad guy.
With President Trump appearing on Fox News slamming the newly declassified memo on the Russia probe written by Democrats and calling out the memo's author, Adam Schiff, the ranking Democrat on the House Intelligence Committee, as a total phony. Schiff firing right back. Wait a minute, Mr. President. Am I a phony or sleazy, a monster or little? Surely you know that the key to a good playground nickname is consistency. Schiff's memo is a point-by-point rebuttal of a Republican memo released weeks ago. That document, written by Republican Congressman Devin Nunes, accuses the Department of Justice of abusing its surveillance powers by basing requests for a wiretap on a Trump campaign associate on an unverified dossier compiled by former British spy Christopher Steele and paid for by the Clinton campaign.
To have a secret court that gets abused like this is totally unacceptable.
But Democrats say their memo debunks those claims, insisting DOJ provided additional information obtained through multiple independent sources that corroborated Steele's reporting. But whatever that corroborating evidence may have been is now blacked out, censored by the White House, which insists releasing the details would compromise national security.
I'm not surprised the White House doesn't like it and tried to bury it because it reveals evidence that goes to the issue of collusion.
Experts say the bickering within the House Intelligence Committee has brought their investigation to a standstill, and that the real investigation is now happening behind closed doors over at the special counsel's office. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, New York.
New at noon, the Supreme Court is rejecting the Trump administration's bid to get the justices to intervene in the DACA controversy. Justices refused to take up the administration's appeal of a lower court's decision that requires the administration to continue accepting renewal applications for DACA, even past next month's deadline. A judge in New York has also ruled in favor of immigrants in a similar case. A new report estimates nearly 9 million fewer Americans will have health insurance next year, thanks to the Trump administration's efforts to eliminate the individual mandate. The Urban Institute reports the mandate's elimination, as well as reduced federal support and the expansion of short-term policies, could leave 8.9 million fewer people without coverage. The Institute says these changes will likely cause premiums for Obamacare policies to increase an average of 18% next year. Happening today, survivors and others will gather at Ground Zero in New York City for a solemn tribute to victims of the first terror attack on the World Trade Center. Today marks the 25th anniversary of that 1993 bombing. 6 people were killed, more than 1,000 others were injured. Authorities convicted 6 suspects for their roles in the bombing. A 7th suspect was never captured. The World Trade Center reopened slightly more than a month after that bombing. Time now to get another check on our weather here in the Suncoast with meteorologist John Scalzi, and a great start to the week after a lovely weekend here in the Suncoast. A little warm, but, you know, we dealt with it.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't summertime warm, so, you know, it's okay so long as the dew points are in the 60s and I guess low 70s. I guess it's okay. When they get in the low 70s, though, I start to crank up that AC a little bit, I'm afraid. We are probably looking at a condition tomorrow that'll be even a little bit more humid than some people might feel that it is today, or certainly that it will be later on this afternoon. Our Lakewood Ranch webcam put into motion shows a bank or two of fair weather clouds flying by from time to time, but nothing that really spells any imminent rain showers, at least over the next couple of hours. Maybe in the second half of the afternoon, there might be an isolated shower in well inland counties, Hardee and DeSoto. But other than that, I don't think we'll see a whole lot of action. That's not to say there isn't some storminess around, though. Check out the thunderstorm activity, well, actually the stormy activity in parts of North Florida around Tallahassee. This is pretty heavy rainfall, actually. It's not severe in nature, and it certainly won't be. And for us, it's probably not going to affect us all that much. But it's welcome news for the folks up there because according to the latest drought index, they are now in a moderate drought situation up there. So it'll be good for them to get a little bit of this rainfall. For us, we don't have any situations like that at all. Our forecast calls for a daytime high of about 83 and not much in the way of a rain chance for us. We'll have that complete forecast coming up in a few. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. Severe weather stretching from Texas to the Ohio Valley led to at least 12 tornadoes touching down in 4 states, and rising rivers are leading to some dramatic rescues as well. ABC's Marcus Moore has more from Kentucky.
Overnight, crews in Kentucky working to put up the last of several new floodgates as the river continues its swift rise. The swollen rivers across the region submerging people's homes, forcing evacuations and rescues. More than 100 water rescues in Kentucky alone. The flooding from a nearby river leaving this Ohio home waterlocked. At least a dozen confirmed twisters touching down across 4 states. Tornado warnings sounding the alarm.
You've got a house that completely has collapsed on itself.
We've heard, glass shattering, and it blew out a couple of these posts here on the porch and, drove them through the house.
But the complete devastation at some homes on full display this morning.
We was all scared. We didn't know what to do, so we were just, hunkering down and getting everybody safe until we could find out what was going on.
Certainly your heart goes out to them as they are looking through what's left, the rubble of what was once a home.
Buildings left ripped apart, homes shredded and destroyed. In some cases, only the cement foundations remain.
You can see a door right there as well in that pond.
And in Arkansas, parts of the roof of this motel torn away. At least 4 people are dead, including 3 in Kentucky, where the governor has declared a state of emergency.
Marcus Moore reporting. Parts of Kentucky and the Ohio Valley are expected to see even more flooding during the week as heavy rains can return as soon as Wednesday. Here on the Suncoast, the Manatee County Sheriff's Office is investigating a shooting in Bradenton. Deputies were called to 6th Street Court East around 4:30 Sunday morning. That's where they found a man who says he was shot during a confrontation with another man. The victim is expected to recover. Anyone with information about this case can contact Manatee County Crime Stoppers at 866-634-TIPS. Happening tonight, you can meet the 4 finalists for Northport Police Chief. The current chief, Kevin Vespia, will retire at the end of March. The 4 candidates hoping to get the top cop position will be at a meet and greet from 5:30 to 7:30. It happens in the commission chambers there in Northport. The finalists will go through a series of interviews before Northport City Manager will make a final decision. Manatee County Fire Rescue is using drones now to check out hazmat situations. This is video from a drill hosted by Southern Manatee Fire Rescue. The aerial thermal imaging, zoom, and regular cameras can determine the type of hazard they're dealing with. It can also help determine if nearby areas should evacuate, if any roads should close, and use the cameras to look for victims. Information from the drones can help teams know how to properly and safely respond without putting any crews in danger.
For us to be able to get in within just a few minutes and identify what kind of hazard this is, whether it's something that's going to blow up or whether it's something that's going to poison people, it tells us which direction to take the incident.
Crews successfully used that technology last year while responding to a big 5-alarm fire at Callahan Tires. Back to the kitchen now. Check in again with Judy and today's lunch. Judy?
Well, that's right, Scott. So we have this beautiful pan-seared snapper. Just lovely filet, so fresh. Snapper is definitely one of my favorite fish. But you could do mahi if you wanted. This will go really versatile with just about anything. So right now I'm taking the tops of the carrots. Remember I told you to save those greens. I have some Dijon mustard. I'm going to add some rice wine vinegar. I prefer to use the unseasoned type. And we'll just make a little dressing out of that. And the juice of a whole orange. If you have blood oranges at home, oh yeah, that's just going to pop that flavor. So now I have the French radishes. We can certainly just serve them raw because they're just delightful with a little crisp, and they're a little bit mild. They're sweeter than the average radish, but I'm gonna put just a teeny bit of butter in the pan, and again, just a pinch of that beautiful basil rosemary salt. And we'll just lower the temperature on that and just bring a little warmth to it. And then we will take our little dressing, and just a little will go a long way. I make triple of just about anything, so I have it in the refrigerator, and it's a go-to. There's no need to have bottled dressings when you can avoid extra sodium and sugars by making it fresh. So when I talk about painting a puree or painting a sauce, so you feel like you're in the fine dining restaurant, you're gonna take your spoonful of that carrot puree that we already made and just give it a swirl. Fantastic, that's ready to go. Now we'll just add the French radishes. Oh my gosh, I just love this dish because it's light and bright. And with this heat, it's just really nice when people are coming over to have something that's just gonna be a great bite. So I'm gonna put this right here, and I'm gonna show you, if you wanna get purple cauliflower, purple romesco, the same thing goes for it. You just cream it down, you roast it, you cream it down, and instead of, when I say cream it down, I don't mean you add cream. All you need to do is add chicken stock. But again, it just adds for a bright, beautiful plate. Sweeten back, I think it's gonna be a great time to give Scalzi a bite, and we'll show you where you can find this recipe and a lot more.
I just had a very educational ride with Nina.
Did you learn anything?
Where do I begin? So all this stuff goes into a safety check.
Yep.
It's a long list.
It's important stuff.
Test the smoke detector.
Yep.
Check the breaker box.
Yep.
Meter the GFCIs.
Ground fault circuit interrupters.
Why do that?
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Nina, you make it look easy.
Thanks, but don't do it yourself.
Who's your guy?
You now have the power to prioritize your Facebook feed and get local news and information from the team you trust. Go to the ABC7 Sarasota page on Facebook. Give us a like, then click following and choose See First. That's it. Customize even more by choosing notifications. Choose breaking news, posts, live videos, anything you want to see in real time. Take control of your newsfeed and stay connected to what's happening in your community with ABC7 on Facebook.
A promise was made, a promise that hit the beaches of Normandy, a vow that captured Iwo Jima, a contract that weathered Tet, a pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq, an IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
Selfless service is the principle that guides Army National Guard soldiers to be ready whenever disaster strikes. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times. Selfless service. It's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
Watch Good Morning Suncoast on ABC7, weekdays starting at 5. Now your ABC7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
And temperatures are creeping up there. We've got a couple of 82s on the boards now. Got Arcadia coming in at 82. Mayaca comes in at 82. Parrish at 82. Got Punta Gorda coming in at 82. And many other places have already cracked the 80 mark as well, including Sarasota at 80 degrees. 78 degrees Longboat Key, 77 in Venison, 77 in Inglewood. A little onshore flow there helping to keep them a tad cooler. 80 degrees officially at the airport. And as I mentioned, those dew point values are rising. They're now at 69 degrees. Plenty of sunshine out there, and I don't think we're going to see a big rain event across the coastline, but inland with that southwest wind pushing inland, And we could get a few showers around in Hardee and DeSoto County, no doubt about that. Temperature, go with about 83 by 3 p.m. for a daytime high, 73 by 7. And then as we head into the overnight, temperatures drop into the 60s. And because of that increase in moisture that we're getting and a more sustained southwest wind, it's quite possible we could have a little bit of patchy fog around tomorrow morning. And in fact, some of that fog could be thick. So we'll wait and watch and see how that plays out. Of course, Bob's up at 5 with latest model returns on exactly what kind of fog potential there might be for tomorrow morning. So you'll want to tune in and see him relay that information to you. A frontal boundary located just to our north is going to stall out there, bringing rain showers to the eastern seaboard. This frontal boundary will be a player in our picture, but so too will this one back to the west, producing snow showers at high elevations in the Pacific Northwest. That front will be a big player in our weekend weather, or at least a modified version thereof of that front. We'll call that front number 2. Remember that one. So we're looking at this front kind of sinking south, stalling out. But then as high pressure back behind it kind of builds in, we'll watch the front be pushed a little bit further to the south. Tomorrow is what we call a backdoor cold front. In other words, a cold front that comes at us from a different direction than it normally does, which is from the Gulf waters usually. So this is coming through the back door, if you wish, instead of the front door. That will not be a big deal in terms of temperature. It will just wash out. But it will help to destabilize the atmosphere a little bit, and with moisture kind of pooling over us with that southwest wind, we could pick up an isolated shower or two tomorrow, and that's for everyone, coastal regions as well as inland regions. We'll wait and see how it plays out. Still warm, mostly dry today, except inland there's a chance of a shower, and then cooler in the weekend with front number 2. Here are the temperature trends. Over the next couple of days, we stay warm. Then look what happens. The low temperatures drop like a rock. These aren't high temperatures. These are forecast low temperatures that give you a good idea of the change in air mass that we will see Thursday into Friday as everything switches up just a little bit. That's with front number 2 that I was talking about. So right now we have that southeast wind switching to the southwest, in the process of doing that, coming in at about 5 knots. Although it's been a little gustier out there over the last couple of hours. We've had some 20-knot gusts, 20-mile-per-hour gusts. And then overnight tonight, we'll watch a northwest wind slightly develop, and that northwest wind will be with us through the morning hours. With that westerly component, that's what the fog issue might be. 2-foot seas, light chop, and the forecast calls for today 83 degrees tomorrow, about the same with a chance of showers for everyone. Then on Wednesday, about 82 degrees. On Thursday, the next front approaches. That's going to cloud us up a little bit, bring us a slight chance of a shower as well. Those are our only 2 shower chances this week, and they're not very high. Then the cold air starts to arrive. It gets a little breezy, and my goodness, what a change. We'll have daytime highs over the weekend in the mid-70s, low relative humidity, plenty of sunshine, not a chance of rain, nighttime lows in the 50s. Just about where it should be for this time of year, and by my book, perfect weather. Scott?
Yeah, I've missed it. Thanks so much, John. In Health Smart, the key to living longer might be as simple as the drink in your hand. The secret, coffee and alcohol. Researchers examined the lifestyles of people 90 years old and older, and they found that men who drank 2 glasses of beer or wine a day and women who drank a glass showed a decrease in the chance for premature death by 18%. And 2 cups of coffee a day decreased their chance of premature death by 10%. The study also found, surprisingly, people who were overweight in their 70s lived longer than those at normal or who were underweight. According to the CDC, nearly 100 children have now died from flu-related conditions in the U.S. this season. The Federal Health Agency reporting 13 more flu-related child deaths. That takes the total now to 97 since the season started in October. Still, the CDC says the deadly grip of the flu season appears to be weakening. The percentage of people who visited a doctor complaining of flu-like illness is now down. That's the first time the agency has seen a drop this season. But doctors are not ready to say the season has peaked, as 39 states are still seeing high levels of flu activity. Still to come in your Suncoast News, the unlikely place a priceless painting was found in Paris nearly a decade after it was stolen.
Head over to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota, where you'll always get better prices and a bigger selection. Like the area's largest selection of 7-passenger vehicles. Get KBB's 2017 Best Buy Award overall winner, the Chrysler Pacifica, for just $25,999. Or load up the family in your new Dodge Grand Caravan for just $20,999. Drive away in a new Dodge Journey for as little as $17,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
I'm calling in regards about my mother, and I'm here, and I just want to thank you because it saved my mother's life yesterday. And I'd like to know the names of the people that came in and saved her so I could call and thank them. And she's doing fine. It's a wonderful thing. Thank you.
When you fall and cannot get up, an accident can turn into a tragedy. But with Life Alert, one touch of a button can get you help fast.
Life Alert saves a person from a catastrophe every 10 minutes.
Life Alert is a lifesaver. If it weren't for Life Alert, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-652-3012. That's 1-800-652-3012. Call now, 1-800-652-3012. For a free brochure, call 1-800-652-3012.
Tickets are going fast for My Hometown Fest, Saturday, March 3rd from noon to 5 at Nathan Benderson Park. Enjoy foods from 40 area restaurants, 40-plus craft beers, live music, and lots of fun. Get your tickets today at myhometownfest.org.
Join ABC7 at the all-new 2018 edition of Circus Sarasota. Ovation under the big top at Nathan Benderson Park behind the mall at UTC. Friday, February 9th through Sunday, March 4th. All opening weekend tickets are 20% off, courtesy of ABC7. To purchase your discount tickets, visit circusarts.org. The Circus Sarasota box office at the big top, or call 941-355-9805.
Everything all right?
Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery? Sure. We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
The skills you develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you a head start on your career. Gain practical experience with technology and equipment that will give you a leg up in the civilian world. Learn critical leadership skills and to be part of a team. Serve your community and your country part-time while earning money for an education. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn about the paid training and career opportunities available to you in the Army National Guard.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
Well done.
Good stuff.
So the snapper from Maggie's, their fish is so fresh. Hint, get there early in the morning because the lines are big and they sell out, but so worth it.
Yeah, they do. That's delicious.
Thank you.
Absolutely
Beautiful
great.
carrot puree.
Yeah, totally.
And I did a little purple cauliflower, which just came in the basket with a romesco, and then a little carrot top and French radish topping.
So good. Recipe for it on our website, mysuncoast.com. Click on the dining button. It'll take you right there. Chef Judy's instructions, video instructions, will also be available. Absolutely gorgeous. Thanks, Judy.
Thank you. Enjoy.
Scott?
Thank you both. In entertainment news, actor, filmmaker Kevin Smith is recovering after tweeting that he suffered a major heart attack last night. The doctor that treated him said Smith's left anterior descending artery was completely blocked. According to Smith, had he not canceled the show and gone to the hospital, he would have died. But he did go, and as a result, he was able to tell his fans, quote, "I'm still above ground." You may remember Smith was just here on the Suncoast filming with Ringling College students. And the Weinstein Company's board of directors says the company is expecting to file for bankruptcy protection. Movie mogul Harvey Weinstein co-founded the company in 2005. He was fired in October after being accused of sexual assault and harassment by a large number of women. The decision to file came after the board was unable to revive a deal to sell the struggling studio. Well, the Oscars are this coming Sunday right here on ABC, and on the night that often celebrates young, fresh-faced stars, this year the Academy is recognizing some more older women in the top acting categories. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez is in Los Angeles to explain.
The star who once said America doesn't reward people my age either in day-to-day life or for their performances, up for yet another Best Actress nomination at 68 years old. But Meryl Streep's quote is also contradicted at this year's Oscars in another category.
Here we are, the nominees for performance by an actress in a supporting role.
The average age of the nominees for Best Supporting Actress this year, 55 years old.
Women of a certain age have not had the opportunities that men of a certain age have always been afforded. That is finally starting to change, and it's been a really long time coming.
The youngest in the category is Octavia Spencer, who's 45 years old.
Jessica Tandy.
And while there have been wins for more senior actresses, the oldest, Jessica Tandy at 80,
I am on cloud 9.
Some see this year as the start of a shift created by better roles and more options for older actresses.
Look at us now, look at us.
Recognized by stars across mediums and genres.
20 years ago, we were pretty washed up by this stage in our lives. So that's not the case now. We've proven, and these actresses and so many more are proving that we are potent and powerful and viable.
Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Finally, this hour, a painting by one of France's most renowned Impressionist painters has been found. The work is called The Choir Girls by French painter Edgar Degas. It was stolen in 2009, but remarkably it was found, get this, in a Paris suburb inside a bag on a bus. Still no word on how that painting ended up on the bus, but glad to report that it has been found. Isn't that something?
Unbelievable.
Wow.
What a journey, right?
I know.
Maybe somebody felt a little guilty. Maybe they knew they were on to them.
Yeah, but on a bus? What a weird place to say.
But there have been stories where people, it gets passed down, they buy it at a yard sale, and then they find out.
Maybe we'll never know.
Yeah.
That's right.
Thanks for joining us. Have a great afternoon. We'll see you again at 5.